The presidential spokesman Garba Shehu to speak to us. Of course, President Muhammadu Buhari had addressed the Kankara boys earlier today. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsnight, Mr. Garba Shehu. Now, you found yourself in a situation where you actually had to apologize for the figures that you initially put out. You did say only 10 boys had been abducted, only for us to find out that 344 were actually abducted. I'm curious to find out if you have any mechanism of sifting information within the presidency in such a way that when you put information out, you know your facts.
Well, thank you for giving us this opportunity, and to say that the standards we set for ourselves, what you have in journalism practice, which is to check and cross-check, check and cross-check. And if all your checks point in the same direction, then you are sure you have your facts. So in this particular instance, the check and the cross-check did reveal that this was the number, and we used it. Unfortunately, it turned out that this was a conflicting intelligence, and so therefore it was wrong. And this is why I had to now say, well, we're sorry, because the idea was not to downplay the seriousness of this unfortunate situation.
Well, that gives one some amount of concern, but we don't want to dwell too much on it because the outcome has been a positive one. At the end of the day, we've got all of them, all the children. There's not one left. But a number of Nigerians online and some that we're speaking with offline have been saying consistently that it still smacks of, is it a case of inefficiency, or is it a case of the intelligence failing, and where is the fault line that we must make sure will never happen again so that we don't get a level of embarrassment of this nature, at least not from the presidency?
If it is about disclosure, I think that you as a practicing journalist, you obviously know risks that are involved, and if it happens that you don't get your facts right, I think that decency requires that, as you do have in journalism practice, incidents like that do happen. When the facts are not correct as presented to you, what a decency requires is that then when the correct facts emerge, then you make the admission and admit wrongdoing has been done, and go on to apologize and put in place what you think is right. And I think that is what we try to do in this case.
I was going to ask him, because now that you've settled that, the first thing I want everyone will be wondering is, what was the response of Mr. President the moment he heard that the boys are being secured? Because there was a false start at some point. There was expectation that, oh yes, they've been secured, but they were not secured yet. And that led to a situation where the governor of Katsina State, we assume that he believed that the boys are being secured, so he called for a press conference. This is an assumption here. And then eventually, when it was clear that the boys have not been taken yet, then we heard that the governor had cancelled the press conference until the next day. So what was the reaction of Mr. President when he heard that they have finally been secured?
Well, the president was much excited. He extremely was pleased because, look, everyone had been really put on the edge over this unfortunate incident, and more so the president, when you consider that everyone had looked up to him for a solution, even though there are other actors also with responsibility for security and all of that. But as the leader of the nation, he accepted that. But things were not even helped by the fact that some politicians had come into the discussion with the mind of scoring points, politically. Unfortunately, this didn't last for so long, and the resolution has come. And all of the new activism we have seen with the political opposition, we don't know where next they will take it. It would appear as if they really had felt too good. They were feeling giddy about this kidnapping. And we don't know then what next they would like to do. But I think that it is to the relief of Mr. President, to the relief of the nation and the international community, that this sordid and unfortunate saga has been so quickly ended.
Before we let you go, Mr. Garba Shehu, you seem to be putting the responsibility or the blame now at the doorstep of opposition. Now, very quickly, do you have the names of the 344 young boys that were, well, rescued or released? We're still trying to figure that out. Do you have their names so that they're not just numbers? And will there be accountability? The UN mission is saying they're hoping that those responsible for this would be held accountable.
Well, I will not have the names. I think the college principal should be in the best position to supply those names. Will there be accountability? I sincerely hope so, because this is not a president who likes to cover things up. And in the same way he asked for accountability dealing with issues of money, corruption, and law and order would be the same. This country has mobilized, the military has sufficiently mobilized men and equipment to those forests. Yes, we have achieved the release of the kids. I don't think it is likely that they will just walk out of that place and assume business to resume as usual.
Madam Garba Shehu, Senior Special Advisor to the President, thank you very much for your contribution to Newsnight on Arise News tonight. Thank you.